Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leah Ryan. I'm a Platinum 5-star ambassador and a national field trainer and a second generation Valerian is what Rabia calls me. But at any rate, thank you so much for being here today. This is a very big day for Vollara. It's a very big day for you and your business. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Just a little preset on this. We're so excited. Gloria is one of our Platinum 3-star executives. She's like totally nutritional supplement educator. And what I love about Gloria is she's pretty much, let me just say this, Gloria and her husband, Bob, they're Platinum 3-star executives, respected leaders, passionate about nutritional supplements, educators with a Vollara community. Together, they've dedicated themselves to helping others understand the true mission of health and wellness, starting with the cellular level through proper nutrition. Gloria is widely recognized a leader of leaders, generously sharing her knowledge, time, and heart to empower individuals and families to live healthier lifestyles. Her ability to educate and inspire has made lasting impact on countless people across the country. Gloria and Bob amplify that it means to lead with purpose, combining education, experience, and genuine care to help others thrive using Volara's innovation, health, and wellness products. I'm not sure why I'm so nervous today, but I am. Here you go. Next, obviously, we have a disclaimer here. The statements that have not been evaluated for the Food and Drug Administration, supplements not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. This information is not intended to be a substitute or replacement for any medical treatment. Please seek advice of a healthcare professional for your specific health concerns. Individual results may vary. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tony O'Donnell is a globally recognized expert in health and nutrition. Holding a PhD in addiction along with his doctorate in clinical psychology, he is an author of over 15 nutritional books and has dedicated his life to helping people achieve optimal health and wellness. Originally from Ireland, Dr. O'Donnell is founder and president of an innovative health and nutritional company focused on transforming lives through education and cutting-edge solutions. He has been featured in major media platforms, including ABC, CBS, Fox, numerous radio programs, where he shares his expertise and passion for wellness. Beyond his professional accomplishments, he's also a third-degree black belt Taekwondo and a respected martial arts instructor. What truly sets Dr. Tony apart is his heart. He leads and educates from a place of deep passion, genuinely committed to helping others achieve abundant health and live their best lives. Now residing in Malibu, California, Dr. Tony continues to inspire, impact people around the world through his knowledge, leadership, and unwavering dedication to wellness. Without any further ado, Dr. Tony O'Donnell, we're going to go ahead and stop the share. Go ahead and I'm going to make sure that you are front and center, sir. And before we really truly start this call, Dr. Tony, I want to just give my praise to our Executive Vice President, Mr. Bill Coyle. If it wouldn't be for you and Mr. Bill Coyle connecting over 2 years ago, we wouldn't have this opportunity today. So Mr. Bill Coyle truly is inspiring. He wants the best for this organization. And Bill, thank you from all of our hearts for bringing Tony to this amazing company. So without any further ado, Dr. Tony, welcome to our call, sir. And you are muted, sir. So we're going to make sure you get unmuted.
There we go. It's all good.
All right. Very good.
Yes. I just got back from Arizona. It was incredibly hot. So thank you so much. When O'Coyle and O'Donnell get together, we create magic, don't we? And then you add Ryan to the mix, and then it's almost like a law firm. And you're doing such a fantastic job, Leah.
Thank
And
you.
I mean, you and Gloria and all the work you do behind the scenes, it's just, well, you are very detailed, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you. Thank you so much for having me this godly, blessed morning. I'm so excited to share with you. So take it away.
All right. Very good. Gloria, I'm going to go ahead and have you start off. I believe we're going to start with a few questions, but Gloria, what would you like? And we should have pre-planned this a little bit better, but we can start with the turmeric. We can start with any question you have there because I know that we have gone through all these products. So go ahead, Gloria.
Well, I know we're so excited, Dr. Tony, for people experiencing your product. And of course, with anything new, people come up with all sorts of questions about products. And that's why I thought today we could answer questions. And no, we probably will create some new ones, but hopefully we entice people to try it and see how it works for them. But I know with the turmeric, or turmeric, there's questions that have come up with that on you say to take it at breakfast and lunch, but is there a reason not to take it later in the day?
That's a good question, Gloria. Thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate it. There's no right or wrong way to take it. I travel a lot. I exercise. I walk. I still do my martial arts. I still do my kickboxing. I still stay in decent shape. And so it's remarkable what it does for supporting ease of movement, mobility, joints, and more remarkably, the research indicates that it is quite extraordinary for reducing and supporting inflammation levels that are not within the normal range. There's no right or wrong time, as I said, to take it, Gloria. You can take one for breakfast, one for lunch, one for dinner. You can take three in the morning. You can take two. You can take one. It depends, of course, on how you feel. If you have pain and discomfort, you want to take as much as you can. It won't hurt you. Just take it with food. I always recommend supplements to take it with food because it provides more assimilation, more absorption. There's more bioavailability, particularly with turmeric. Turmeric in itself is what's called a heavy compound, meaning that it's much more difficult for the body to absorb it because of its chemical structure. It's heavy in weight. So that's why we have the carrier agents in there, the black pepper and the ginger, to support the actual turmeric itself because it's very thick. So it's used in cooking and spices, as you know, from around the world. This is why the Asians and the Indians use turmeric not only for cooking, but also for its tremendous health benefits. So no right or wrong way to take it. I take three in the morning. Sometimes I take three in the afternoon. It depends, of course, on how much activity one is experiencing or one participates in, or how much exercise you're getting or not getting, or and indeed how much discomfort you may feel in your body. And let's face it, we all face discomfort in our body as we get older. Lack of movement and maybe gaining a few extra pounds also can provide more inflammation than necessary. So turmeric is one of the first lines of defense against supporting inflammation levels that are perhaps out of balance.
Okay. And I know on the info it talks about it can help with weight loss. What's the reasons, or how does this help with weight loss, or how to take it if people are looking for the weight loss benefits?
That's a very good question. Glad you asked that. Well, here's what happens. As we get older, our basal metabolic rate, that's basal BMR, basal metabolic rate, that's the rate at which we burn food for fuel as a source of energy, slows down dramatically, or we may have really inflamed our thyroid where it's not working so well. If you look at Asian cultures, they're tremendously slim. They're very agile, up in their 80s, 90s, and even 100 and beyond, because they consume a significant amount of these spices and kelp and dulse, which is actually in our products. We have a lot of seaweed type products in our superfood line, the greens in particular, and of course the turmeric. So the cayenne and the ginger actually helps not only with the delivery mechanism, but it also burns, so it heats up. When you create heat in the body, and that's what a calorie is in the first place, a calorie is a measure of heat. So when you create heat in the body, you raise or elevate the basal metabolic rate, and consequently, as a result, the more heat that's created, the faster you burn the fuel that we eat. That's one of the reasons why we gain weight in the first place. So that's why cayenne and ginger and turmeric provide significant support for people who have inflammation, who may be carrying a few extra pounds and want to support their weight management program. It'll provide heat for the body. So when you eat your food, it doesn't lie in your gut, because food transmit time, Gloria, takes about 30 to 40 hours. I mean, it's in your body for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, sometimes a week. And this is why we have a sluggish immune system. So when you start taking the turmeric, or turmeric, as we say in Ireland, you will notice a difference in the warmth of your body from the cayenne and the ginger, which is tremendous for digestion. You'll also note that your ease of movement will increase dramatically. You will find that your inflammation will not be as big as it could be and should be. We wanted to keep it low, obviously, but there's also good inflammation and there's bad inflammation. Generally, we have bad inflammation due to the dietary choices that we make on a daily basis, from our ding dongs, donuts, big gulps, French fries, soda pop, pizza, Pepsi, Prozac. We have a love affair with food in this country. So that's one of the reasons why it supports weight management, the ginger, the cayenne, and of course the 1,875 milligrams of turmeric that provides significant support for those of us watching and waiting to manage our health, particularly weight
That
loss.
makes sense. Thank you. I know another big thing we've been talking about is the sourcing, because there's difference there. And I know we talk about no lead, but what's the difference of what sourcing you're getting our turmeric from?
Good question. Well, America over the last 50 years has been deluged with the influx of raw materials, particularly cheap raw materials from overseas. And I don't want to disparage or denigrate any particular country. We all know where a lot of the stuff comes from. We have a love affair with bringing in raw materials from overseas, particularly from countries where there's little or no vetting, though that has gotten better. I was lucky to attend Expo West in Anaheim. It's the largest health expo in the world. Usually gets a couple of 100,000. That number has gone down quite a bit due to travel restrictions, tariffs, and so on and so forth, and flight costs for people from overseas. And there's a tremendous amount of information now coming out to support raw materials from various countries that were questionable in the past, that perhaps had some lead. There was toys that were made many years ago that had lead in them, and children were wondering, parents were wondering why the children were getting sick. There's asbestos. There's a lot of issue with asbestos, raw materials that are questionable. We don't use any lead whatsoever in our product because we know not only does it make us sick, but also is also counterproductive to supporting our immune system. So I, as a vegetarian myself, at 67 years young, I don't eat anything at all. I'm vegan, vegetarian. I live a plant-based life, but that's not for everybody else. That's just a decision I made many years ago. Back in Ireland, we went off different types of food for Lent, milk and cheese and butter and sugar and ice cream and meat and all that types of thing, all those types of things. So I decided to just become a vegetarian. I feel better. So I can tell if I eat anything funky. I have to be careful when I travel, and I travel a lot. And when I go back home to my native Ireland, I have to tell my family that I'm a vegetarian. And that's almost a foreign word to some people back home in my family. But I feel better. I have more muscle mass than people who actually consume a lot of meat and who consume a lot of dairy-based products, though there's nothing wrong with those. It's just the source. So no lead in any of our products, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, thanks. Maybe we'll move on to the Pomegranate Plus, which that one is an amazing, and a little bit on the what I've been reading up on it. It really targets a lot cardiovascular. What within this really helps the cardiovascular system?
Yeah, I hereby support you having your own talk show, Gloria, because you ask such great questions. You and Leah, you two would be like rock moms on the air. You'd be so
No,
good.
we're the Minnesota Twins, is what they're called around
You
here.
are you are the Minnesota Twins for sure. Great questions. My father died when I was 21 years old, and I vowed that I would scour the world and research raw materials and ingredients that would support cardiovascular disease. It's huge in Ireland. For the small country that we have significant cardiovascular challenges. And of course, over 1 million plus people die every year in the United States, all preventable, according to the Surgeon General here in America and around the world. We have a lot of people that don't have strong hearts because they're carrying a few extra pounds. They're consuming ding dongs, donuts, big gulps, French fries, the pizza, Pepsi, Prozac, the things we talked about, and not getting the exercise. I met a gentleman who's a classically trained pianist the other day in a juice bar, and we just hit it off. We were talking. He's Armenian, a lovely guy. And he said his brother just died. And I said, what happened? He said, well, he had high triglycerides and he was carrying extra weight. I said, how old was he? He said he was in his 40s. That's almost unheard of. So, and he said, I'm suffering from the same challenges that my brother was suffering from. And he had high triglycerides, which is excessive fat in the blood. We just have too much food. We make a lot of bad choices. This is why I do this great work every single day. I'm so blessed that Bill and I decided to do this together, and all of us now as a team at Vollara, because we want to support humanity. We want to support each other in the choices that we make. Why wait until it's too late? So I was reading the research, Gloria, from Dr. Lansky and Dr. Newman, two magnificent researchers from Israel. And the research was so overwhelming, I had tears in my eyes reading it, because had I known that research and the power of plants, which I know, but we just don't always know how good plants really are, because when we mess with Mother Nature, we really destroy the very essence of what will make us healthy, because you can't get healthy from a box. There's more fiber in the box than there is in an actual product that's in there. So we have a lot of bad food. We've created a lot of really poor products that do not support overall good health or immunity and provide us with the nutrients that we need to give us a better quality of life. And you got to blame the big food companies for that, unfortunately. They love making us fat. They love making us overweight. They love diabetes. They love cardiovascular disease. So there's so much to support what I'm going to say, and it's in a book, one of the 15 books I've written. But pomegranate has ellagic acid, and that's the active component in there. This is why this product is so remarkable at supporting cardiovascular disease. We want to bring down triglycerides. That's the heavy fat, which is created by oxidative stress in our body due to the dietary choices that we make, which is primarily a lot of acid-forming foods and or foods that are full of fat. There's a tremendous support now in research that suggests that the trans fats are really bad for you. They provide so much bad oxidative stress for our body. They can literally kill us. And we know that now. Hydrogenated fats are really bad. We want to go for the avocado type stuff. So when I read the research from Dr. Lansky and Dr. Newman from Israel, it reminded me when I was 21, when my beautiful father died at 56, just such a young man. So color is crucial, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, in the fight against free radical damage from the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water that we drink. So pomegranate acts as a rotor-rooter for the arteries. Can you imagine that? That's why we don't have to. I'm not saying this is a claim, but a lot of people get stents in their heart. The reason for that, they're opening up the plumbing to allow the nutrients to get in, to allow the blood to flow freely to the heart muscle. This is why, I mean, almost everybody that I meet these days seems to be, oh, I just went for my stent. It's almost routine now. It's like going to the dentist. Oh, I got my stent last week. How many did you get? Oh, I got 2. I got 3. Oh, I only needed 1 this time. Oh, okay, you didn't have a heart attack? No. You didn't have a stroke? No, thank God. So there's so much that we can do. So nutritionally, pomegranate is so remarkable as a natural herbal remedy. It's given as a gift around the world, particularly in Asian cultures and in Spain, as a symbol of procreation, because the red in the pomegranate symbolizes life. And we know that when we heat anything over 110, 115 degrees Fahrenheit, we destroy enzymatic activity and consequently the future life of the plant. So pomegranate cleanses, deodorizes, oxygenates, feeds the skin at the cellular level. This is really remarkable. It goes in and it acts as a broom that sweeps all that debris. The debris is the fat that lodges in our endothelium, Gloria and Leah and everybody on the call, and it causes an impending event, such as a heart attack or stroke. That's what it happens. Our plumbing gets clogged. That's just as simple as it is, like our bathroom or toilet gets clogged. And so we have to do the same thing for our arteries. We've got to clean ourselves out. We're going to clean out the debris that builds up in our heart, in our blood vessels. And this is why when you go to the doctor and they say, your cholesterol's at 300. Oh, it's at 400. Oh my God, your triglyceride levels are really high. That's a biomarker for cardiovascular disease. We want to make sure that we fix that. While we never make a claim about any of these products, we do know that pomegranate and all of the other nutrients that are actually in that product support cardiovascular challenges, helps support inflammation, acts as a rotor-rooter for the artery, becomes a brush that sweeps the debris out of the blood vessels, and you want it out of the blood vessels. Plus, it supports homocysteine and C-reactive protein, which are biomarkers for cardiovascular disease. For example, if I was to send anybody on the call right now to a lab, and that's one of the things that I would recommend. See what your C-reactive protein is, see what your homocysteine levels are, and see how much fat you have in your blood. You would be shocked. So if you knew that you could take a nutrient that would support all of those things and potentially help make that situation better, and that would extend your life, I think everybody on the call would say, yeah, I want to take something like that, that supports those things, that helps sustain life and provide tremendous support and opening up the door so we can let the air in. That's what it's doing. It's cleansing, it's deodorizing, it's detoxifying, it's allowing the blood to flow freely and effortlessly to the brain and to the extremities in your feet and supporting overall good health. And this is why I take that. So it's not only pomegranate, Gloria, It's all the other nutrients that I put in there, like grapeseed extract, anthocyanidins, proanthocyanidins, digestive enzymes, essential fatty acids. The list is endless. There's over 30 different ingredients in our formulas. This is why we have full disclosure, and this is why people get remarkable. When I say remarkable results, quite remarkable. And I'll tell you a story, and I can say this because it's third party. My professor at university did not tell me he had carotid artery clogging right here. And he told me after 1 year, he went back for a second test and it was completely gone. Am I making a claim? Absolutely not. This is what he told me. He doesn't compliment much, but he told me this. He said, I said, why didn't you tell me before? He says, well, I don't share too much things like that. And I said, well, really? And I said, so it's literally, are you saying that it cleared it out? He said, that's what the doctor said. So does it work for everybody? I don't know. But it's quite remarkable what the active component is, that ellagic acid, Ellagaic. It's a little berry. It's like lycopene in tomatoes. It's like grapeseed extracts got those active components. This is where Mother Nature is so, so remarkable. While I never make claims, I just see the results. I see all the mass cards. I mean, these are mass cards right here, and people send me cards all the time, hundreds of them thanking me for helping them save their lives and supporting. What's happening, Gloria and Leah, is that, and everybody on our call this morning, I'm so grateful, really, is that we underestimate the power of Mother Nature. We wait until it's too late. And this is why, as you heard many times, people repeat, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And this is why I took the road less traveled, as Robert Frost says, and that has made all the difference. And this is why we're here this morning. So that tells you some of the things that the pomegranate actually does as a superfood beyond compare.
Yes, I know. My husband and I, Bob, have been taking this now since we got it, and it tastes very good. It's sweet. Is there any sweetener in it, or is that the natural sweet from the juices?
Another great question. Well, when you go into your local produce store, Gloria, and you were to buy everything that you see in there, especially all the vegetables and all the fruit, and you grind them up and you cold process them and you dry them, that's what's in the product. There is a natural sweetener. We use stevia, and people say, oh, it's very hard to please. And by the way, there's no soy in the product. It's our government that does that. So you have to put that on the label. I'm working on getting that taken off. We have to make crazy disclaimers that our government requires us to do, and Bill and I are well aware of that. And by the way, soy is actually really good for you, because that's why the Chinese take so much soy, particularly tofu. And this is why the incidence of cardiovascular disease and breast cancer among women and men is non-existent in that country, all attributed to the consumption of soy-based products that are non-GMO and that are gluten-free, wheat-free, organic, vegan, vegetarian. So we put natural sweeteners in there because herbal remedies, the Chinese believe, are the key to their efficacy and potency. So this is what I've been studying my whole life. I mean, I go out and I study. I go to San Francisco. I don't stay in the hotel. I'm up till 10 o'clock at night going to Chinatown, going to these herbal emporiums, go to these herbal stores, learning from these traditional herbalists, and they're boiling their little pots of herbs, and I want to know what they are and how they work. It's a whole different world for me. So my whole life is immersed in learning about herbal remedies. To my right here, which is to your left, is a huge big cabinet, and it's just filled with herbal remedies. In this other cabinet right here behind me, which Leah is coming out real soon, she'll get to see all those herbs. I live off the land. I focus on herbal remedies to provide support for people's health. And I thought to myself, why don't I put all this into a formula? And that's what I did. Scoured the world, traveled the world, met some of the longest lived people. So we have naturally occurring stevia, which is remarkable for actually protecting the teeth and the gums and providing a little level of support. It does not tax the pancreas. It's sweeter than sugar, but it's not a sugar alkaloid. It's actually a natural plant that grows wild around the world, and it's used for actually people in cooking, and it's used now in dental schools, and doctors are talking about it to support all the research supports gum health and gum support and keeping your gums healthy and keeping them from bleeding. So we have a natural sweetener in there that does not, this is interesting, it does not tax the pancreas and does not elevate blood sugar. How you should take the pomegranate, Gloria, is with, if you're a diabetic, and 70, 80% of the population in America now, including kids, because diabetes has gone up a whopping 600%. It's incredible what is happening to our country. We don't exercise. We eat the wrong types of food, make terrible choices, and then we go to the doctor to have uh, an operation. I just read about Elton John the other day. He's so violently sick. He said they've taken almost every organ in my body out. I mean, really? I mean, just really sad. When I watched that, this is a man who's one of the top pianists in the world, classically trained, great singer, just love his music. And his health is a disaster because he hasn't taken care of himself. He said, they've taken almost everything from me right now, meaning the doctors and operations. Why would you let yourself get into a situation like that when you have all that success and all the trappings of success and you're not taking care of your health? And it's really sad to see that.
No, thank you. That's a good explanation of that. Well, I think we'll move on a little to your Radiant Greens because I know that's a flagship product of yours in many ways. And greens are so good. What makes your Radiant Greens different or something that we should use as our greens in our diet?
Again, another great question. Well, first of all, it's blessed through my church. And oh, there we are right there. It's blessed through my church. So I wanted to give this as a gift. This is my legacy to the world, to the United States. That's been so good to me. I want to get this in the hands of every single person out there because let's face it, I'm a farm boy from Ireland. First of all, I want all of you to understand that. I think I mentioned that once in a previous call. And so I understand the power of farming and what goes into the soil. Most people just go to a store and they buy stuff and they assume that it's good. And a lot of our produce is really bad. A lot of our products that we as a country serve to humanity is bad. Look at the sickness in our country. This is the first generation where our children will die before our parents. We're the most overweight, undernourished, overmedicated nation in the world. We write more prescriptions, Gloria, in America than the entire world combined. We're a walking time bomb. We really are. And so we have a lot of health problems. Our children are overweight, diabetes is skyrocketing, obesity, clinical obesity. And now you see all these drugs that people are selling that have tremendous side effects. I mean, Hollywood has gone crazy. So all these actresses, they look like they haven't eaten in 6 months. I mean, it looked ridiculous. That's not health. People want to get healthy from an injection. They want to stick an injection in their stomach, and they want to do all these crazy things out of a bottle. That's not health. That is not health. And the side effects and repercussions are significant if they only knew what I know. And so when I met the longest lived people in the world, they were very lean. They had the most beautiful skin. They had great elasticity, not a wrinkle on their face, but the joy that they shared with me and the joy that was coming from their body and the healing aspects of living in the rainforest. If I took most of us out of our day-to-day living and said, hey, go live in the rainforest, you wouldn't do it. These are some of the greatest people in the world. They're very lean, they're very fit, very healthy. They have the most beautiful skin. Why? They're devoid of processed food. We have so much processed food. We have so much genetically modified food. Everything's in a box. I saw a drone delivering a meal to somebody on the local news station last night. I mean, it's gone crazy. A drone landed in their backyard, and it was a burger and fries, and this is the third time that they did it that day. And I thought, what is our world coming to? Nobody wants to move. Nobody wants to get their body going. We want everything is Uber Eats and all those companies are all great at what they're doing, but they're just serving up something that's, for me, where's the connection? Where is the joy of actually sitting down and having a real meal with real food? Corporations that serve food are technically now being held responsible for the quality or the lack thereof. And there's some great companies in America. They're being held responsible by the MAHA movement, especially HSS Secretary Kennedy, for providing food that make us sick. Corporations have made us sick for years, selling us fat and telling us it's good for you, selling us sugar and telling us it's good for you. The lobbyists, that's not going to happen anymore. We're not going to do that. I was in a local chain of convenience stores recently, which I am a lot because I'm trying to make changes and try to help our children get healthy and truckers get healthy. And one guy said, man, that junk food business is a multi-billion-dollar business, and I don't think we're going to change anytime soon. Therein is the problem. So again, looking at the longest lived people, Gloria, from around the world, I wanted to know what they were eating. I know what people who are sick are eating because my family was part of that. Ding dongs and donuts and fried food all the time. That's what killed my father at 56. My three brothers, I thought, I got to eat healthy. I got to learn how to handle this. So I had a wake-up call when I was 21. That was the wake-up call from God to say, listen, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to end up like the rest of your family. And I didn't want to do that. So that's why I started studying herbs and plants, even though I knew a lot about what was going into the soil and the lack thereof, or poor crop rotation, and or lack of fertilizer to harvest the land, or to grow a decent crop so that we could have potatoes and scallions and lettuce and whatever else what we could grow to sustain us, because we're a large family. Who could afford groceries these days? My goodness, can you imagine 30, 40, 50 years ago what it was like? It was really traumatic. And my parents were magnificent, never hungry, poor, but never hungry. And this is what has driven me, is the connection that God and spirit, that love, the joy, the happiness and health that I can bring to other people. This is why I'm here. I'm not doing this for any other reason. That's why I love Bill and Vollara and all you wonderful extended family that I have now in the United States. It's just amazing. Like Leah and I have really hit it off as friends, and she's just quite remarkable, all the work she does, and she does it with so much love and you, Gloria, and so much care and compassion and understanding, and really making sure that everything flows smoothly, and just to get the word out that people are sick and people are unhealthy, and it doesn't have to be that way. There's so much joy in being healthy. You can still break out once in a while. So when I looked at the big picture and all the sickness, and 65% of our population, 70% now, are overweight, and I saw that child obesity had skyrocketed. I saw that our kids are sick, and I couldn't believe it, and my family couldn't believe it when they came to America. I mean, you go for lunch at any restaurant in America, and you get a bucket of bread before you start, and you're bloated. I mean, you're walking out of there like a time bomb. I mean, just it's crazy, you know. And as I say in Ireland, carry out refers to the customers. So, so you go to Las Vegas. I couldn't believe when I went to the Stratosphere in Vegas, and all these, as my mother calls it, buffets. She said, "You go to the buffets?" I said, "Oh, mommy, it's called buffet." She said, "Oh, you need a tractor trailer to just drive around, right? I mean, it's food from 7 different parts of the world. I'm lucky to get food from one part of the world, never mind 7 different parts of the world. I mean, you are in a diabetic coma when you come out of those buffets, right, girls? So we know that. So when I saw that issue with diabetes, clinical obesity, diabetes, people being sick, I see truckers crashing trucks. I see trucks turned over on the freeways. I'm wondering what has happened. It's a perfectly good day. Why did that truck turn over? Is that person, did he fall asleep? Women are driving trucks too. What happened? And so I wanted to find products that had historical use. This is very important. That had historical use, because you don't just put something together. Bill knows this at Vollara. That's why Vollara is so fantastic. You don't put products together because you think it's a good idea. You put products, in my humble opinion, I formulate superfoods for a reason, because they've had historical use, meaning that they've been used by tribes, indigenous tribes. They are the first healers. God is the healer, but nature, Mother Nature, is the real healer. So when I looked at longevity from around the world, I looked at people who lived a long life, and I thought, what are they putting into their body that's giving them such zest for life, such vitality, such enthusiasm for life, such excitement, such beautiful skin, leanness, beautiful hair, skin, nails, teeth, and they look really great. That's what I did. So I scoured the world, looked at all the herbs. For example, bilberry, European bilberry, first isolated during the First and Second World War. I put that product in there because they found that Royal Air Force pilots who flew planes at nighttime increased their night vision by 25%. That's quite remarkable. And I thought, wow, I got to put that on the product. So I did all this crazy research. And if you're ever in my house, which I hope you will be soon, you will see that I have thousands of books. That's what I do. That's my mission. I read. If I hear somebody talking about something, I said, I want to know. I want to know. I attend 25, 30 lectures a year, a little less recently because of travels and restrictions and all that nonsense. You don't want to be stuck at an airport for a day or two. So I travel to a lot of these countries and to go to these seminars and learning about the latest and greatest research. So I found that green foods, this is a long-winded answer, but I wanted to give you the backdrop. Green foods are the highest, yes, that's right, the highest on the DNA chain. Green foods are loaded with chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is the blood of plants with almost an identical molecular structure as hemoglobin, which is the blood of human beings.
Mhm.
Wow, when I discovered that, I thought, I found something that really works. And when I drank my first green drink, I thought my body needs this. I've been deficient of that. I didn't grow up with any greens. We didn't really grow that many vegetables. We grew potatoes, which is technically a vegetable. It is a vegetable, but we didn't have anything else because our soil is replete and doesn't have vital nutrients. And we knew that, and we had poor harvest sometimes. So it was potatoes, a glass of milk, and pepper and salt and butter. That's really what it was, Gloria, when I was growing up in Ireland. And then, of course, my late, beautiful, amazing, magnificent mother would bake for us as well, baked bread. We just loved that. We were like little boys. There were 11 of us and girls, and we were just fiends that eating that bread. She used to hide it up in the cupboard from us so we wouldn't get at it when it came out of the oven. But we'd be up there on a chair because we were hungry. We were just hungry. So, but poor, but never hungry, never so hungry that we didn't manage to survive. So when I looked at longevity from around the world, I thought that country's eating this, the blue zones, this country's eating this country's eating this. I found tremendous potency and efficacy from the herbs. That's why there's over 30 different herbs in the radiant greens, the same in the pomegranate, because they have tremendous research. Nobody else has those types of products in the marketplace, and nobody has the research because I've done all the research for you. Most companies I see companies with 50 ingredients. There's one advertised on TV. They charge a membership of $90 a month, and they put like 30 or 40 ingredients in there, and it's $80 a bottle. And I take a look. There's no green products in there at all. There's 1 or 2 milligrams. 1 or 2 milligrams of this and 1 or 2 milligrams of that doesn't do squat, really. You have to have the potency. We have nearly 10,000 milligrams of greens and 10,000 milligrams of pomegranate and their berries and all of the other nutrients in the bottle. It's unparalleled. This is why it's the Rolls Royce of superfoods. That's why when you take it, you'll notice the difference in your hair, your skin, and your nails. I mean, I say this respectfully, I get compliments on my skin everywhere I go. People say, "What are you taking? What are you taking? Did you have Botox? You get shots?" No, I didn't get any shots at all. But you will see a difference in your hair, your skin, and your nails, your basal metabolic rate, as I mentioned earlier, the rate at which you burn food for fuel as a source of energy increases dramatically. You will see the difference. Your bowel movements will increase, which is good. You're getting that waste matter out. Your digestive system will work better. You will feel better. You'll feel lighter. The ease of movement and mobility improves dramatically. Who does not want to feel good, right? Who does not want to feel good? We all need to feel good. We deserve it. It's your godly right to feel good, and it is a constitutional now responsibility of food companies to provide us things that are good for us, because in the past they lied to us and they manipulated us into eating foods that actually has made us fat and made us sick and has created a dysbiosis imbalance and a lack of homeostasis in our bodies and in our family. I mean, it's incredible what food companies have done and the lobbyists and what they have done. They say, "Oh, this is good. This is really good." How'd you know? Well, I heard it on TV. It must be really good. I heard it on the radio. They said it was good. I heard it from some politician. He or she said it was really good, because they're getting paid, unfortunately. We are here to sustain life, to give people the energy and the nutrients, which I was missing as a kid back in my native Ireland. I never took a supplement until I came to the United States. I never did, but I was always sick. I was a feeble, weak man, young man, playing sports. I was always at the doctor, as I mentioned the last time on the calls, several calls we've had. And I finally found my true happiness and true bliss and true blessings, and I'm thankful for that.
Well, that's exactly what we need for people need. Now, taking the pomegranate and the radiant greens, is it best to take them together or separate, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. Again, you just asked the best questions, girl. We should do this. We should do this more often. You can mix them together as a great smoothie. You can put them in water. You can put them in unsweetened almond milk. You can put them on your cereal. People put them on their cereal, meaning Irish,
Yeah.
means porridge. We call them porridge in Ireland. And you can add the pomegranate and the greens to it, mix it all in. I mean, it's just awesome. And look at the list of the ingredients right there. If you could just pull that up, you can see all those incredible ingredients on there. And what it does, supports the immune system, helps hair, skin, nails, pomegranate, blueberries, goji berries, mangosteen, acai, digestive enzymes, essential fatty acids. They're all in there. This is why, and by the way, I forgot to mention, 86% of the US population hardly eat any fresh fruits and vegetables. Can you believe that? Yet the United States Department of Agriculture tells us we should be consuming at least 15 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables a day, but none of us even get close. So every scoop of greens and pomegranate provides about 2.5 to 3 salads per scoop. you will see the difference. And we now know that there's the list. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really incredible when you take it. I could just put one ingredient in there, ladies, and it would work really well. But I didn't not want to do that. I wanted to put in everything from the research that I found based on historical, this is very important, based on historical evidence and based on indigenous tribes using these products from around the world, and also from the use of ease of use and the ability for people to take it in a powder form, mix it in a smoothie. You can take them together. You can take them separate. What I do in the morning, which I've already done this morning before the call, hence my energy, I just took a scoop of each and put it in my mixer and blend it up. If you have blueberries handy, add a smoothie. If you got a banana, make a nice smoothie. Won't tax the pancreas, and it'll give you a great zest for the day and get you off to a great start. Make sure you put your liquid in first. Just read all the ingredients on there. I mean, Gloria, do you just want to read a couple off just for fun so you can get an idea, and I'll explain a couple if you want.
Well, I know that when I look through these ingredients, they're just amazing when you add that together. That is in here. I know people really like the astragalus. Is that how we pronounce it?
Astragalus, yeah.
It's
Well, the East Germans win more gold medals at the Olympics. I moved the screen just a little bit so you could see it there on the slide. They win more medals at the Olympics because they use this powerful herb that's used in South America by long distance runners and by miners who go down 30, 40, 50 feet into the ground because there's lack of oxygen. And so astragalus is a conditioning, strengthening tonic herb. I'll just run through them briefly. Apple pectin, apple fiber. What does that do? It provides more fiber because we don't get enough fiber in our daily diet. Spirulina. I mean, 2 billion people around the world go hungry every night and every day from lack of food. We have enough spirulina in in the Konocti Coast in Hawaii to literally feed the entire population of the United States. Hunger does not have to exist, yet it exists every single day because I see my homeless brothers and sisters on the side of the street and in doorways all over the United States, not just in California, all over the United States. It breaks my heart. So you see acerola berry in there. That's vitamin C. Most vitamin C is made of corn and acetone. So these are all plant-derived herbal superfoods. When you take it, you will see the difference. I suggest everybody get their blood work done. And afterwards, 30 days later, 60 days later, go back. Your doctor will be amazed when you see your blood work. Chlorella is a single-celled algae. It's got 2.5 times more protein than eggs. I mean, just quite remarkable. And so the Chinese have been using chlorella for thousands of years. Wheatgrass juice powders. Suma is also an endurance herb in there. Beets are in there because beets have nitric oxide. And then again, it's color. It's the color that mops up. If you spill milk on the floor, you mess up the table, you got to clean it up. That's oxidative stress. That's family stress. That's family dynamics. So you got to mop up the free radicals, and that's what these herbs do. And of course, you got dulse and kelp, the things that I talked about. These are all sea algae that the Chinese use. This is why the incidence of prostate cancer, while we make no claims, the incidence of breast cancer is pretty much, and they smoke like troopers in those countries, is pretty much non-existent in their country. We also have cilantro, which is used in cooking. Cilantro is a natural chelating agent, comes from the Greek word chelate, which is to remove. So it pulls all the waste, that debris that we talked about, those ding-dongs and donuts that build up in your blood vessels that just make you feel sluggish and tired and make you achy. So it pulls all the waste matter. Alpha-lipoic antioxidant. It's got ginkgo in there, which is great for the brain. Green tea. If you look at the Japanese men and women, they have no impending events as it relates to cardiovascular disease, heart disease, breast cancer, ovarian cancer. These types of things don't tend to exist in those countries, yet they smoke a lot. So the green tea has catechins in it, and the catechins block the carcinogens from the cigarette smoke. It's quite remarkable. And then, of course, we've got ginseng in there, red clover, coenzyme Q10, which is a powerful herb for the heart, dandelion for the liver, and of course, it's got maitake, shiitake, and cordyceps. These are the kings of mushrooms. So this is a very powerful antioxidant that supports overall good health in a powder form. Mix it with the juice of choice. Mix them together with the pomegranate. Mix them and make a nice smoothie for yourself. Make sure you put your liquid of choice in your blender, whether it's apple juice, cranberry juice, pineapple juice, papaya juice, unsweetened almond milk. People in Hollywood, where I live, they love coconut water and a doobie. And of course, down at the bottom there, we have digestive enzymes. So this is to help you digest your food. When we cook our food or heat our food over 110, 115 degrees Fahrenheit, enzymatic activity is completely destroyed. So the food is just wasted. It's just lying in your gut. It's not being utilized. That's why that turmeric with the ginger and the cayenne, that's why it makes your digestive system work better with food, because the biggest challenge we're faced with is digestive enzymes are not in our food because we overcook it and overheat it. So that's why we have those things in there. And of course, you see all the other stuff that's in there. There's barley, there's barley grass, there's milk thistle, there's bilberry for the eyes, the flower pollen, and then we have naturally occurring stevia, which is added in there because these are all bitter herbs. And the Chinese really believe in bitter herbs because they're the things that actually go to work to help support your overall immune system. So we have to sweeten it with a natural sweetener. Hence the reason why we have a little naturally occurring stevia, which is remarkable for not only for your health, but also for your gums and for bleeding gums and for your overall immunity.
Well, that's
Amazing.
good. That was a very good overview. I know we had asked for a few questions ahead of time that are a little more specific, and I thought
Sure.
see, someone had asked which of these would be best for cognitive issues for the brain.
Well, that's a good, well, cognitive issues happen because of poor dietary choices and excessive cell phone use and holding the cell phone to your brain, because your brain's is like, it's almost like an onion that's been cooked, or mushrooms being cooked in your frying pan with your olive oil. And so the EMFs that are coming off these cell phones and the EMFs in everybody's house and your car and everything's electric these days. So it causes distortion of the brain waves. So the combination of all three of them together work really well for your cognition. Lack of memory and dementia and Alzheimer's is caused by poor nutrition, too much fat in the diet. We have amyloid plaque in our brain. We can't remember where we left our car keys or checkbook, where we parked our car in the parking lot. I see people all the time say, well, my car was there when I went in. No, it wasn't. It was over there. And they get turned around and they're wondering, where did I put my car? I mean, we all do that. It happens all the time. I used to have a car where I have this loud buzzer, and I'd be going around the parking lot pushing buttons like this, trying to find where it is. Because if you parked on level 1, but you thought you were on level 3, you get turned around, right? We get confused. Why? We have so much information. We're living in the information age. We have so much information and technology at our disposal these days, so we get forgetful. But as you get older, the brain declines because you don't have the right nutrients, particularly the ginkgo that we talked about there, the green tea. So a combination of all three. If you must take one, take the turmeric, because that actually reduces the tangles in the brain. My colleague, Dr. Oz, as I mentioned on a previous call, he said that turmeric untangles the tangles in the brain. That's the amyloid plaque. It's like spaghetti. It's like on a freeway and you don't know, oh my gosh, which way do I go? But I only got one way to go. And you got to just sit in that traffic and just sit and grin and bear it. So when we have tangles in the brain, that's a real issue. That is caused by poor dietary habits. We can fix that now. We know how to fix that now with biofeedback, with proper nutrients. So the turmeric, the greens, and the pomegranate, they act as a support mechanism that reducing the oxidative stress and inflammation. That's all ill health is reducing inflammation and supporting antioxidants that provide tremendous cellular health, particularly brain health. And so for cognition, a combination of, I would definitely do all three, but if you must take one, the one that's for that specific thing is the turmeric for sure. Load up on that.
Okay.
Indeed.
And the other question, more specific, was, is anything here helpful for glaucoma? I know it's a little bit more targeting or
Yeah,
something for the vision.
we don't like to make claims. And again, anything that you have, glaucoma is usually caused by a deficiency of uh, vital nutrients, particularly astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, and lutein, lutein, in the eyes. And again, these things start to happen to us as we get older. It's just, let's just face it, that's just what happens. So if your diet has been devoid of plant-based nutrients, you're going to have those problems as you get older. Some people have it younger in life because their dietary habits were not good. Some people have it older in life. All these things are preventable. It's just like the tires on your car. You got to get them changed. You got to change the oil. We got to change the oil. We got to change the filter once in a while because we're going to be sluggish. It's the same. So a good cleanse, a good detox with the greens in water, preferably at the weekend, And of course, all the things that are in the greens on their pomegranate address macular degeneration, address glaucoma. It can be reversed. It depends, of course, on how far it's gone and how much damage has actually been done to the macula and how much stress and oxidative stress that one has experienced. If you had a history of alcohol, a history of smoking cigarettes, all these things contribute to free radical damage. What's free radical damage? Well, free radical damage would be a freeway where there's potholes everywhere. That would be technically damage to the freeway. Free radical damage in your body would be cardiovascular issues, blood pressure issues, poor hair, skin and nails, sluggish immune system, a diet that's devoid of superfoods. So the faster you get the greens, I would double up on the greens 2 to 3 times a day. I would double up on the pomegranate. Remember, you're getting 10,000 milligrams in each bottle. I would double up on both of those very, very quickly. You will see quite remarkably what it can do. It can really, really arrest some of these problems that we're faced with. There's no guarantees. While I never make a claim, I get the letters and the phone calls, and people said, oh my goodness, thank you for giving me my life back. I literally have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards from my patients that send me and said, thank you, thank you. It's just that these nutrients are so, so good that are missing from your diet. And it's not talked about in the medical profession because the doctors that go to medical school, God bless them, learn from a book, they pass the exam, but they don't know anything, get about 2 or 3 hours of schooling on nutrition. And so they don't really know. So your job is to make sure you put as much of that stuff into your body as possible. You juice with the greens. You can put the greens in a blender, drink it straight with water. You can put the pomegranates together, make a smoothie. And then, of course, you add the turmeric. And for somebody in that situation with glaucoma or macular degeneration, it's a real serious issue that needs to be fixed and addressed very quickly. I would be doubling up on the turmeric to bring that inflammation down, untangle those tangles in the brain, so give the body the support that it needs. You will definitely see a quite remarkable change in about 3 months. Try it.
Dr. Tony, if I may. Yep. I'm sorry, Gloria, go ahead.
Go ahead, Leah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is just amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a live chat, as mentioned earlier. If you have a question, put that in the chat, if you would, please. I've got one text to me. It says, this is amazing. How about taking pomegranate on an empty stomach, Dr. Tony? Is that okay?
That's the way you should take it, because here's why. If you've had a pizza the night before, or you got up and you had some donuts, I stayed at a hotel in Phoenix the other day and they were offering white bagels and I almost got sick looking at. That's all they had. They had white bagels and something in a package. And I just couldn't eat that kind of food because I don't be bloated. Even if I was desperate, I wouldn't eat it. It's just white bread, which is not going to give me any nutrition whatsoever. So yes, on an empty stomach is the key because you want to get the nutrients, because the greens and pomegranate is in a powder form. Remember, it's cold processed, it's dehydrated. And so it's a live, whole, energetic food that has no heat. It's never been treated with heat. So you want to take that on an empty stomach and you will definitely see and feel the difference. Be prepared in the first day or so to go to the bathroom a little more than normal. It's not going to just make you run to the bathroom all the time. It's going to clean out the waste matter. It's hard to believe how much waste we have in our gut. By the way, the average person has 40 to 50 pounds of excess waste matter in their colon. And I mentioned earlier, food transmit time takes about 30 to 40 hours. So empty stomach, first thing in the morning. Now, here's the key. Make sure when you're making the greens and the pomegranate, or if you're just doing, you can alternate, make sure you put your liquid in your blender first, throw the pomegranate in, throw it in a glass of water like this, and just stir it right up. And you're good to go as well if you want to do that. I have a portable little blender that I carry with me when I'm on the road, and that's what I use. And it's hard to carry a Vitamix when you're on the road. You'll be making so much noise in a hotel. So that's what I use. And I'll show you. I'll just step aside for a second.
You know, having a little frother on hand, guys. I use a little frother as well.
This is my little
nice.
That's my little baby blender right there. And it's great. The only problem is there's 2 little batteries in the bottom. If you get any water in here, you'll just mess it up. So I just put the water in here when I'm on the road. It's not that powerful, but it's effective. And I just spin my greens and palms in water and I'm good to go. I don't even use any unsweetened almond milk. But if you want to make a nice smoothie, then that's a great thing to do. So first thing in the morning, empty stomach is the way to go.
We just
another one.
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Gloria.
I was just going to read, just got a check a question on the chat. You had mentioned in a previous call, I guess, about ejection fraction in the
Yeah.
heart and improving that. So which product was that relating to?
Well, that's a very good question. So the heart muscle produces energy. That's the seat of our strength in our body, like our pelvis and our legs support us and carry us around. And when we have issues with the ejection fraction, it's a very serious issue. And so we want to make sure that we support that. So pomegranate has the ejection fraction energy in it from the compounds that I've selected. And that's one of the reasons why I created that product was for my late, beautiful, amazing. I miss him so much, my beautiful dad. I tell him how much I love him and my mom every day. My daddy smoked 60 cigarettes a day. It's crazy. My brothers all died from heart disease. And so you mean here's a collection of family all dying from heart disease, all doing the same thing. It was a terrible choices that they made, but that's what they knew, and that's what they did. And so my three brothers and my dad all died from heart disease because the ejection fraction of the heart muscle gave out. That's like saying the faucet doesn't work very well when you get up in the morning or the shower doesn't have the pressure, right? We turn on the shower, there's no water, there's no pressure coming out, so you really can't take a shower. And so with the ejection fraction of the heart muscle, again, that usually happens for the following reasons. You're carrying too much weight, you have high blood pressure, you have a propensity for diabetes, and or you don't exercise, and the heart muscle becomes very weak. The heart is designed for us to walk and to move our body and get out there and do things. I walked the other night in Surprise, Arizona. It was beautiful where I was. It's near where the Texas Rangers, they play their summer games there and warm up and do their summer training, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what they said it was. And I just went for a walk after the sun went down. So I felt so energized and so alive afterwards. So the ejection fraction gets compromised due to the following things that I mentioned: diabetes, carrying extra weight. If you're carrying extra weight, the ejection fraction of the heart muscle is compromised dramatically. That's the amount of energy that the heart expends. We need to be able to expend that energy. We have to get that energy. And this is why people take electrolytes and they take, all these superfood drinks or energy drinks. I mean, these companies are selling $30 million worth of energy drinks a week. It's incredible. People think because they want to get the energy, they want to increase the ejection fraction. In fact, it does the opposite. It gives you a boost from the caffeine and then it destroys the heart muscle. So that's not good. So the pomegranate is the product that you should be taking to increase the ejection fraction of the heart muscle. It's crucial. You can turn that around. Most people should be up in the 30s. Some people are at 5, and that's not good. And this is knocking on death's door. And this is caused again by poor dietary choices, making the wrong choices, carrying that extra weight. This is an opportunity this morning for all of us to embrace the great life that we have because we live here in America, the greatest country in the world, and for us to get our shoes on, get our water bottle, get our pomegranate in our water bottle, shake it up and go for a walk and take a friend with you. Walk early in the morning or a little later in the evening before it gets dark, when the sun goes down, and just go for a brisk walk and start to include that in your daily regimen routine every single day. And of course, make sure you check with your doctor and to see what actually is going on, because there may be other issues. There may be lung issues, which can also be a problem, but it's primarily caused by poor dietary choices and carrying those extra few pounds. If you release the extra few pounds, you will find that the ejection fraction of the heart muscle increases dramatically. But one thing we now know that actually really helps it is the pomegranate, because of the color, the bioabsorption, the bioavailability, the assimilation. It gets into the bloodstream right away. And the beets now, the nitric oxide in the beets, which is well documented, well researched, helps support the ejection fraction and get it up to where it should be.
Fantastic. Another question or comment came over. It says, please ask, are they providing full vitamin spectrum, vitamins, minerals, supplements?
I didn't understand the question.
Um, it says, please ask, are they providing full vitamin spectrum, vitamins, mineral supplements?
It's a confusing question, but yeah, there's full disclosure on our label. So you got to understand something. This is not a vitamin supplement. The greens is not a vitamin supplement that you would get in a health food store. It's a superfood that has naturally occurring. For example, apples, oranges, peaches, pears, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, all these things are in our product. They have naturally occurring supplements. It's not a mineral supplement. It's a totally different aspect altogether. While minerals, in fact, Dr. Linus Pauling said that every sickness and every ailment can be traced to a vitamin mineral deficiency. This is a naturally occurring superfood that provides naturally occurring vitamins and minerals. For example, in the greens, it has 90 minerals, 22 amino acids, and 65% protein. It's got the same thing in the pomegranate. There are naturally occurring supplements and vitamins and minerals that you get from the actual superfoods itself. This is crucial. This is very different from going into your local grocery store and said, I'd like a vitamin mineral supplement. They'll give you one that's designed specifically to address the supplements and vitamins and minerals that you may need. This is naturally occurring because it's derived from Mother Nature, which is what you want. This is plant-based. So when you take an apple or an orange, for example, when you take lycopene or when you take pomegranate, pomegranate has tons of minerals. They're naturally occurring. Is it a mineral product? No, it's not. Is it a vitamin supplement? No, it's not. Is it a superfood? Yes. Does it have naturally occurring minerals? Yes. That's what you want to be taking. The reason being is it's in the wrong form, the way it's formulated traditionally. And this is what we've discovered now, because it's all about the absorption. A big story came out in the news a couple of years ago about all the porta potties being jammed with supplements that people don't absorb. You pass right through them. Or pass right through your body. You can't assimilate because the way they're compressed, the way they're put together. This is naturally occurring in a powder form. So I hope you understand that. So when you take it, you get it right into the bloodstream immediately. So you want to be getting your supplements from superfoods or your minerals from superfoods, the essential fatty acids from superfoods, your digestive enzymes from superfoods. This is what Vollara is doing. This is what I've been doing for 20 plus 30 years now, is getting your nutrients from I'm vegetarian. I don't buy any pills and lotions and potions. There's some really good companies out there. So we are a plant-based superfood company. This is the next step in evolution and elevation for Vollara to bring in these remarkable superfoods that complement the air and the water purification. This is the ticket. Vollara is so far ahead of other companies. It's literally, there's no comparison. This is why they're doing what they're doing. And Mr. Coyle is very astute and very smart at doing this. So when you add our water and our air purification, you add our turmeric, our pomegranate, and our greens, you are giving the body the nutrients that it needs. Because if you're giving it clean water, you're drinking clean water, you have pure air purification because it's so toxic. Or some cities, I can't even go for a walk. And I travel, as you know, Leah and Gloria, I travel a lot. I can't even walk in the cities because of the smog and the pollution. Arizona was really nice. It's one of the most desired cities in America to live, the safest cities. It's a very nice place. Where I was the other day, Scottsdale has been voted the safest and fittest city in America. And so when there's a lot of pollution, we have, like you mentioned earlier in the last call, we have a reduction in the ejection fraction of the heart muscle and the lungs are compromised. So these are naturally occurring supplements or vitamins that are derived from Mother Nature. That's what Mother Nature intended in the first place. That's what's in our greens. That's what's in our pomegranate. Now, the turmeric is different. While it's a superfood, it has black pepper, which is added. It has ginger, which is added, and it has 1,875 milligrams of turmeric. You take that and you tell me how you feel in 14 to 21 days. You will feel quite remarkable.
Indeed. I know it's a lot of feedback we're getting is the short time that
Yeah.
you have had your product with our company, Dr. Tony. It's amazing the feedback we're getting on how people absolutely can feel a difference. You know, their stress level, their energy level, their mind. I'm very impressed with it personally, and I love mine. How about if a person um, if you have the MTHFR gene that
Mhm.
cannot process certain vitamins, can you help us with that?
Yeah, that's a big issue for a lot of people. And again, this is not a vitamin supplement. This is a superfood. This will definitely, while we never make any claims about any of these health conditions that people are faced with, let's face it, if you take a pill that's made in a lab, it was never exposed to Mother Nature. It wasn't derived from Mother Nature. It was made in a lab, and it's a pharmaceutical technically, and it doesn't have the same potency, efficacy, and bioavailability and assimilation that a naturally occurring plant food that was found in Mother Nature, right? Which would you rather take? Do you want to go to those porta potties and see all those vitamins in there that did pass right through your body and made you constipated and you can't absorb it, and you wonder why I still don't feel good? So with that particular gene, which is quite common now here in this country, I never knew that much about it in my native Ireland because I never got exposed to it. So definitely you're not getting the right nutrients. You want to be getting, as again, not to be so repetitive, you want to be getting your nutrients and your superfoods from plants naturally occurring in Mother Nature. While I'm not disparaging or saying anything about any vitamin companies, there's a handful of good ones. Vollara is right at the top of the list. That's the great thing about Vollara. Vollara is at the top of the list. Vollara is actually doing it the right way. Unlike a lot of other companies that are just throwing something at the wall and say, take it. How do you feel 3 months later? Nah, they didn't notice anything. You take this and you will feel it. Not only will you feel it, it's actually happening as we speak when you take it to your bloodstream. This is why I encourage people to have your blood work checked, and you will see and feel the difference. In fact, I had a sports doctor for the Lakers tell me, he said, I had to check your blood twice and I had to check your results a second time. And I said, why was that? He said, well, the blood work was so remarkable. He said, I never seen anything like it in my entire life. He said, what are you on? Here's what he said to me. He said, your oxygen and your antioxidant saturation is remarkable. He said, I'm a sports physician. I've never seen this in 25 years. I said, all I eat is plant-based foods. He says, well, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, it's quite remarkable for someone saying this, someone that I think the world of. So that's the difference. When you take a scoop of the greens in your blender or wherever it is, and I suggest you get one of these little guys, take it with you on the road, put it in your water bottle. It's not very strong, remember. It's just, it'll do your greens, it'll do your pomegranate. And then, of course, with your breakfast, add your turmeric, 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, 2, 2, and 2. Whatever you decide to do, you will definitely see and feel the difference. There's no doubt that you will feel it. So with that particular gene, you need nutrients. You need to support it, and you can still live a very, very powerful, remarkable life. FloJo, the runner, the hurdler, she was smoking 30, 40 cigarettes a day. Can you believe that? And she was a top athlete in the world. And unfortunately, she died from her dietary choices. Top athlete in the world, smoking cigarettes just don't work. So you can have a great life with or without that gene, and just accept it. Know that it's there. Know that you can actually still function effectively and do all the things that everybody else can do without any hindrance or compromise. Get the superfoods, put them in your body, support overall good health. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, exercise, move your body as much as possible. And here's the thing that I tell everybody, which most people forget: you got to get your rest. You got to get your rest. You got to connect with family, you got to connect with spirit, and you got to go to church and do all the things that God wants you to do, to be thankful for this great life that He has provided for you.
Right, very, very good. Gloria, do you see my phone stopped here? Is there any more questions that you haven't covered with us?
I think we've covered the ones that were sent in. And we've covered a lot of great information, Dr. Tony. Appreciate how you've shared. And I think just one thing, and also thank Bill Hoyle that we got a sample of one of each of these available as a package deal. So I encourage you to sort that out and try it, because we can talk and talk, but trying it is when you start to notice what happens for you.
You know, this is an incredible package. Maybe you're a guest on the line today. Maybe someone brought you to the call, Dr. Tony's call here. This is an amazing bundle that Mr. Coyle's put together for us of Dr. Tony's supplements, as Gloria said. You can get those on the website. You can go order them directly right now. The cool thing is these don't come in a bundle like this, ladies and gentlemen, and this only goes to the last day of April of 2026. So a lot of times, and the bundles are 3 of each, 3 of the turmeric, 3 of the radiant greens, and 3 of the pomegranate plus. But they put this special bundle together for all of us to get it out there and let you folks certainly enjoy this and help this to change your healthy lifestyle or make your lifestyle much healthier. Dr. Tony, thank you so much. This was an incredible collaboration and support. It truly means a lot to be working alongside with just people like yourself, Bill Coyle, Gloria Gilston, just passionate, like-minded people. There's a lot of other leaders here in the company too. But thank you for helping make a difference in so many lives. And together, we're creating something very special with Vollara and your products. It's incredible. Mr. Coyle, I'm going to hand this call to you. If there's anything you want to tie up the call, maybe if there's anything we've missed, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Leah, for putting this together. And we certainly appreciate all that you, Gloria, do on all of our health calls. And certainly, Dr. Tony, wow. We're just so excited that you're part of our Vollara family. And on behalf of the company, I'd like to send our gratitude and our love. And thank you for your brilliance and your expertise in this field, and much blessings for all that you do for the world as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Gloria, and thank you, Leah. Just adorable. I could do this 7 days a week. Literally, I could do this. I love it so much. I love helping people. It's the thing that gives me the greatest joy is hearing people's phone calls, seeing and reading their emails and getting their cards and thanking me. And I tell the staff, I said, this is why we do what we do. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a ministry. It's a godly thing. And Vollara is just quite spectacular. So make sure you guys get your products, start on the products and wait and see what happens to your overall well-being. And then, of course, the key is to share with your family, your community, your church, so you can impact health and well-being, not only yourself, but also of your brothers and sisters in your community. You deserve to do that, and they deserve to know about these products. Thank you. Bless your weekend, all of you.
Thank you, Doc. And thanks for attending this call. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Good morning.
Good
Awesome
morning,
stuff.
everybody.
Awesome
Good
stuff.
job.